to improve just a little bit each and every day, to be a better person today than I was yesterday, and to seek to improve tomorrow as compared to where I am today. That is a worthy goal. Nearly 3 years ago, this July, I found myself in the emergency room of a St. Louis hospital. My heart pump fraction had gone down to 13%, which is very low. In fact, I heard the emergency room nurse say to my ambulance driver, "This guy should be flatlining. I can't get a pulse." When I overheard her say that, a wave of panic rushed over me. And then, in an instant, the panic was gone, and I was ready to go. I was quite at peace with exiting this world. Just waiting to flatline. I was exhausted by life. I'd really given up. This virus that had settled in my heart and brought it down to nil, that was just the capper. It seemed like an appropriate way to go out with a whimper. But I survived. And after 2 weeks in the hospital, I was released. The heart hadn't improved much at all. The doctors told me that if it didn't improve in the next 6 months, I shouldn't expect any improvement. I'd be running on a low battery, so to speak, for my remaining days. And yes, going up a flight of stairs, I'd have to stop 6 steps up, catch my breath, and get on with the journey. And if I had a particularly long sentence to speak, I'd have to stop halfway through that sentence, catch my breath, then finish it. So after I was released from the hospital, I crawled into bed and spent the next 2 years reflecting on a life not particularly well lived. Looking back on the past, a lot of mistakes that I'd made, drug addictions, a marriage that I had failed, children I hadn't seen in years, back and neck problems that had required surgeries. That eventually led me to seek out painkillers, narcotics, opioids. Moved me on the road to addiction. There was a lot to think about, and I didn't feel like I had much power over the situation. My diet went to hell. I was still drinking heavily. And then, about 9 months ago, out of the blue, the heart healed up. The doctors couldn't explain it, and I was left with a choice. I could continue to lay around and do nothing, wallow in self-pity, pretend I was a victim of some sort, or I could try to find some purpose and get on with my life. And I started very slowly 9 months ago. I started to exercise now that the heart would allow it, and I exercised as much as the neck and the back would allow. It still causes me a tremendous amount of pain, but it's something I have to deal with. I started eating healthier, better portions, healthier food. I lost 25 pounds, and that was good. I've kept those 25 pounds off. It's helped the back considerably, losing that extra weight. So diet, exercise. I started to read some books that challenged me, that made me reflect in a positive way on who I was and how I got here. And a lot of the negativity with which I view the world and still view the world, how that needs to be addressed. A lot of those problems really came to the fore. They were easy to recognize. Started journaling, that helped get those thoughts out. Helped me to express that anger and those frustrations that I had. I reconnected with some friends, got together with them on a somewhat regular basis. That helped to get the socializing back. And I reached out to my kids, who I hadn't seen in years. Wrote them letters, and they wrote back. Just started adding little things to my life for the sake of improvement. And one thing that I've done recently is I joined Toastmasters, the public speaking group, not to overcome a fear of speaking, but to help myself articulate out loud, verbally out loud, how I'm feeling, what I'm going through. And it's better than writing for me in terms of expressing myself and getting in tune with who I am and how I'm feeling. Because I can listen to myself, I can record it and go back and listen to myself speak what I'm feeling, and then I can act on that. I can see what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, my expressions, my facial expressions, my verbal expressions. I can see what's frustrating me, what words are difficult to get out. And I can play back the tape and get an idea of what I need to do in order to get to where I want to go, which is still kind of unclear. My goal isn't really clear other than try to improve each day. A big part of that has been stopping the drink. And I've stumbled and fallen on that account several times over the last 9 months. There's nothing easy about quitting an addiction, I knew that. When I quit the opioids a few years ago, after 10 years of use. So quitting the drinking, that's a hard habit to shake. But I'm working on it. I'm just trying to do little things, such as listening to myself right now, to improve who I am, just for the sake of a better life, a better lived experience. That's all I've got right now. I feel like I'm flying blind. I'm trying to navigate without a map. I'm trying to do what's best for me, but without any real ultimate goal in mind. But for now, little steps, aiming at minor improvements to be a better person today as compared to yesterday, and striving to be better tomorrow as compared to today. That is a goal worth aiming at.